From this point forward, the word cheese will be bleeped because Michael finds it offensive.
Hello, and welcome back to the Fine Dining Podcast, the search for the most mediocre restaurant in America. This is part 2 of the Cheeseburger in Paradise episode. I went to Waikiki, Hawaii. I went with my mom. Mom is here. How's it going?
It's great. I'm so glad we had a chance to go to Hawaii to review a restaurant. That's pretty cool.
It was nice. So we're going to jump into it. For those of you listening for the very first time, this is the show where I go to restaurants and I'm trying to find you the most mediocre one so that we can just have a reference point. We need to know what's in the middle so that we can call everything better than it good, everything worse than it bad. And you know what? If anything, it's an excuse to go to all these places, these chain restaurants that I truly love, even though I know they're mediocre. And, you know, it might feel like I'm kind of just like punching down on them. I enjoy them. I think Denny's, which is on the tchotchke of mediocrity at a 4.5, Denny's gets me excited.
Wow.
Like, just to go to a Denny's at night, to stop by a Wendy's. Like, these are the places that feed my soul, but I gotta call a spade a spade. They are mediocre. We know it, but mediocrity should be celebrated. Right, Mom?
Absolutely.
That's your support of your own son. Mediocrity should be celebrated.
Aw, no, you are not.
I thought you were going to agree wholeheartedly.
Oh.
Anyways, in this show, we're evaluating these restaurants based on their atmosphere.
Based on their service.
And based on their food. Yummy, yummy, yummy.
Yum, yum, yum.
Well, not in all cases, but in several.
Fine dining party of 2.
Our table is ready. We've been talking too much. See you on the other side.
Your table is ready, follow me. Have you tried our chicken breast? Serving pancakes and ribs, I recommend the spaghetti. We're here to satisfy, not to impress. Your table is ready, complimentary butter and bread. These walls have road signs, knick-knack, cowboy hat, good luck cat, autographed guitar, some grab from your city. Behold the tchotchke of mediocrity. Fine dining, just fine dining, fine dining. 2 letters on the sign are shining, neon flickering, irregular timing. Identify the perfect 5 out of 10. Fine dining, fine dining.
Hey, everyone. I want to tell you about another podcast. You see, this is a podcast, but other ones exist too. Do you enjoy vacations? Do you like picturesque destinations? Do you like murder? Well, there's a podcast out there that covers those things together. It's called Slaycation. It's a darkly humorous look at murders and mysterious deaths that have occurred on vacation. It's hosted by a true crime fanatic, her comedy writing husband, and their TV producing partner. And because of those hosts, Slaycation brings a unique perspective to the chilling, the thrilling, and the what the heck stories of vacations gone horribly wrong. From the twisted tale of Harold and Tony Henthorne, whose romantic anniversary in the Rocky Mountains ended with one of them falling off a cliff, to Angelica and Vincent, 2 newly engaged lovebirds whose Hudson Valley kayaking adventure ended underwater. Each episode of Slaycation includes humor, as well as takeaways and travel tips so that your next trip doesn't end up, with a body. So if you don't want your next trip to be your last, tune in to Slaycation on Apple Podcasts or Spotify, wherever you find your stuff. Anyways, that's their podcast. Back to my podcast.
Atmosphere.
Okay, so the atmosphere of this place, it's exactly what you'd expect. It's a tourist trap Hawaiian restaurant, cheeseburger joint. Like, it takes all of those elements and models its decor around that. It's a lot of bamboo banisters and tiki masks.
The tables were all bright vintage.
Like hula girls and stuff.
Very bright. And
paradise seems like a very applicable word here. I mean, you're looking literally at, I'm looking out at the Pacific Ocean. My mom is looking at a wall and an alleyway where there are just an exorbitant amount of trash trucks, dump trucks driving by.
But also, what was interesting out through the window is all the people walking by with their surfboards, with their floaties,
with their shopping carts full of cans.
Some stopping to talk to us as they walk by.
Oh, yeah. It's an open air window. There is no separation. We happen to know some of the people that walked by.
That was cool.
So the reason that we were in Hawaii was because I wanted to run the Honolulu Marathon. And I did run the Honolulu Marathon.
And you completed it.
And it sucked. But I did it with two of my cousins. And we went to Cheeseburger in Paradise the day after running the marathon. So I'm pretty sore. And they walk by outside. They've got inner tubes on. They've been in the water and they're about to go on a hike.
They were going to hike up Diamond Head the day after running a marathon.
Yeah.
So.
And was like, maybe we'll go parasailing. And I'm like, what are you doing? Relax a little bit. Go get electrolytes. Like,
go have a pina colada. Put your feet up.
Relax for a second.
Yeah.
I thought it was funny. They just kind of came by, chatted a little bit, went on their way. One thing that I did notice in this restaurant that I appreciate as someone who doesn't like and is always censoring it is the back wall had a big Cheeseburger in Paradise sign, but the sign was bigger than the width of the wall. So they cut off a couple of the letters and it just said Cheeseburger in Paradise.
I didn't. So was that something you could see from where you were sitting or was that
No, this was like as we were walking back to our table, kind of over by the bathrooms.
Okay.
Which, by the way, I didn't go in the bathroom. You didn't go in the bathroom. My dad did, and he said that it was really wet. And I saw a Yelp review that I didn't end up choosing for Yelp from Strangers, where someone was like, I'm pretty sure 20% of the men's restroom is underwater. And he was like, I don't know if it's fresh or dirty water, but it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
I mean,
it was
it does,
close to the beach.
It does matter, but like it bothers him the same. Well, I don't know about the same amount, but it bothers him regardless.
Right.
So whether it's people tracking in water or their swimsuits are dripping or their aim is bad,
whatever.
One of those factors made for a very
wet
bathroom.
Okay.
I did enjoy this more given that the beach was my view. It's just very pretty to look out a window and you see the Pacific Ocean, you see palm trees, lots of stuff that just made this whole experience a little bit nicer than your experience. I think our ratings might reflect that.
Well, in trying to navigate that, I decided to order a boat drink, thinking.
Wait, what is that? What is a boat drink?
You really don't know what a boat drink?
I don't know what the term boat, like they serve it in a gravy boat.
So boat drinks, I don't know if that was coined from Jimmy Buffett or not, but a boat, there's a song, boat drinks.
Is that really a thing?
I think that's the name of the song.
Oh.
But boat drinks would be like a pina colada, anything that you're fill it up. We're going to go sailing.
I mean, I can imagine. I assume they're tropical. A Bahama Mama is probably a boat drink. There you go.
Exactly.
Anything
Michael.
anything that sounds sugary is probably a boat drink.
Yeah.
Is that an accurate assessment?
Yeah.
Now, one thing I did like on this place is on the menu, they had like the cheeseburgers and they have a bunch of different burgers.
Mm-hmm.
And then at the bottom for add-ons, normally a restaurant would just say like add-ons. It says more ways for us to make a buck. And I appreciate that level of honesty, of just being that candid. It made me laugh. So the music here, Freebird was playing, like real aggressive 80s rock.
I was thinking
70s.
Kind of a loud rock vibe.
But then it switched over and we got like jazzy vibraphone and very tropical. So
it was a blend.
It was a mix of a few things. I didn't mind either of that. Like I liked both of those. Musically speaking, I know that you probably felt Freebird was a little much for you.
I was okay with Freebird. Some of the other stuff was a little loud, but when they go back to, I guess I expected, again, Michael, I wasn't sure about the whole Jimmy Buffett connection. So
I thought there was one when we were there. When we were there, I thought there was one, and I was surprised at the lack of any Jimmy Buffett references.
Right.
And it wasn't until I got home and then started preparing Eat Deets for part 1 where I was like, oh,
yeah.
So yeah, it's a natural assumption. But then again, we did mention in Eat Deets that Jimmy Buffett did have his own unaffiliated Cheeseburger in Paradise fast casual chain for a while.
Long time.
Last one closed in 2020.
Yeah.
So anyways, if I have to rate this atmosphere, objectively speaking, it's not good. It's not bad. It's just there. But I had a view of the Pacific Ocean the entire time, and it was very pretty. So I can't go less than 1 thumb up for the atmosphere at the Waikiki Cheeseburger in Paradise location.
I'm actually going to agree for a different reason. The atmosphere included, to me, the setting, even though you
weren't facing it.
The fans, the wall decor, the vintage old Hawaii feel I enjoyed. So 1 thumb up for me as well.
Oh, okay.
Service.
We had a server who I'm not going to say his name because, I'm never trying to put anyone on blast. He was just fine. He seemed a little preoccupied, maybe?
I was going to say the same thing.
Like his head wasn't in the game, but also, as we mentioned, employee Christmas party, you get off at 4. We went at 11 a.m., so they'd already been open a few hours. They open at 7 a.m. and serve breakfast.
Right.
And then switch over to lunch at 11.
Right.
So we experienced the lunch menu. He'd already been there a while. He's halfway through his day. Whatever. I'm not using it to justify, but I'm using it to try and get in his headspace and maybe figure out why we got the service that we got.
I kind of felt a little bit like we needed to flag him down when we were ready.
Almost every time.
For ordering or another drink.
To be fair,
could you bring the sweet and low?
The first time he came by, we weren't ready. Like, there was a time where he came to take our order and we weren't ready and we asked him to come back. And sometimes you lose the flow of service. You lose the momentum that you have with your server. And, they have certain beats that they want to hit. And then when you're not ready, when you can't meet them where they are with your order, it definitely is like, okay, well, do I come back in 5 minutes? But we were slow in the decision making, so I do get it. Also, this guy, he had like a southern accent and then said he was from Indiana, which I just find interesting.
Well, Hawaii is south.
It's the deep, deep south.
Well, it's, I don't know how far it is north of the equator.
I mean, we could compare latitude.
Right. It's more south than Indiana.
Well, yeah. I mean, it's more south than California. I know that it's more south because there's a Pokemon in Pokemon Go that you can only catch under a certain latitude line.
Interesting.
And it does show up.
Okay, let's look that up.
In Hawaii.
What is the latitude in Hawaii?
All right. Hawaii is further south than Key West.
Oh, okay.
By quite a bit.
Okay.
It's 19.9 degrees latitude versus 24.5.
Oh, that's a lot.
Yeah.
Isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay. So I don't know if that's where it's south.
but he's from Indiana. Like, you don't get your accent from where you moved to as an adult.
Yeah, I don't really.
Actually, that's not entirely. Well, I don't know. You've lived in Texas 25 years and you don't have a Texan accent.
I say y'all.
But y'all is just a very practical word.
It really is.
If you're not saying
it's
y'all,
an all-encompassing. It's like aloha.
There's people who still make fun of y'all, and I don't understand that.
So there's actually sentences that I use y'all, double y'all. Can you think of a sentence where you would do?
Well, there's like y'all all.
Right.
Yeah.
And then y'all being, I'm talking to all of you.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're full on Hicks at this point.
y'all.
They were very napkin stingy. very napkin stingy. We asked for, one, my dad has like very little patience, so he'll ask for napkins, and the guy will walk away and like another table will ask him something, and then my dad will flag him down again and be like, where are those napkins? He's like, sir, I have only stepped away from your table 4 feet for 30 seconds. I physically cannot have them yet. He didn't say that, but like I was basically telling Dad, hey,
body language.
Why don't you let him disappear out of sight for a second and
then come back?
Unless he has napkins on his person, like he's like, the mom of a toddler, and you're just always like, oh, you've got sticky fingers and you're well equipped. But he wasn't.
Right.
Although serving us, it may as well have been the mom of a toddler.
Yeah, but also the straw incident from the Yelp review.
Oh, yeah. Can I get 3 straws? Here's 1.
2.
No, here's 1. Can we get 2 more? Here's 1 more.
So,
yeah,
a bit stingy on the utensils.
But eventually, so we ordered some appetizers. We ordered some dishes, drinks, water, plus you got a boat drink.
I did get a boat drink.
And we just had a lot of empties on our table.
This is true.
Now, one waitress came by and dropped off, I think it was the coconut shrimp.
I think she was delivering from the kitchen appetizers to us.
And you just asked, could you please take this away?
There were some empties on the table.
Which is one of the most normal requests a customer can make. And she looks at you and she goes, ma'am, I'm not going to do that. And she left.
She did.
And I want to say, that is way too much.
This is
the audacity to just deny that kind of simple part of the job request.
She did say, ma'am, I can't help you.
She did. But it was just like, the audacity is unlike anything I've ever seen. And it is, in fact, way too much. But I want to know more than just what happened. I want to speculate why this happened. I have no idea what's going through her head. And it makes me wonder, Mom, what's going on over there?
What's going on over there? What's going on over there? Should I worry? Should I care? What is going on over there?
So, Michael, what do you think was going on with that?
That's not the name of the segment. What's going on with that?
So, Michael, what's going on over there?
Oh, my gosh. You listen to every episode.
Well, my memory is suffering just a bit.
I do have a theory, though. If you listen to the Eat Deets episode, there was a moment where a friend of Jimmy Buffett's went to one of the restaurants in disguise to kind of scope things out. And I think since the passing of Jimmy Buffett, we have another close personal friend of Jimmy Buffett who went in and decided to take this company down from the inside.
Oh, a saboteur?
A saboteur.
Is that what we're going with?
I don't know. I'm speculating. Do you have any better ideas?
Not really. I was actually in shock. All these years at a restaurant, oh, would you mind taking this?
Right.
No, ma'am. I can't do that.
I can't do that. She had the capability.
She did.
She did not have the willpower.
She did not.
It's what Jimmy would have wanted.
Ma'am, I am not going to do that.
Wild.
Crazy.
I think she's sabotaging it. No, I know she's sabotaging it. We have figured it out factually, without a doubt. That is what's going on over there.
What is going on over there?
Yeah, so I think when you put all of those factors together, the napkin stinginess, the lack of attentiveness, even if we oriented the flow of the waiting experience, it wasn't pleasant. Like, I just didn't enjoy the service that I got here. And when you're in a touristy spot, you kind of expect a little bit of like a performative server, not in terms of like they're singing and dancing, but just in terms of charismatic energy. And we didn't get it.
No, we didn't.
We didn't get it. So I have one thumb down on the service.
One thumb down from me. I agree that there was a lot of room for improvement.
That I don't think they really wanted to give. Like, I don't think they care.
Given the party, upbeat atmosphere I associate with Cheeseburger in Paradise, it is not what I expected.
Yeah.
Food. Yum, yummy.
Let's start with the boat drink.
Yeah, I ordered a pina colada, a little memory of my mom in Hawaii. Waikiki was her favorite destination in the Hawaiian Islands. And my mom loved pina coladas.
Yeah.
It typically is not the first.
She was a boozy lady. She had a problem.
No.
I'm kidding.
But she liked to have a good time. And when she went to Hawaii, she would love a pina colada. And so
yeah.
in memory of mom,
in memory of her,
I ordered a pina colada.
And how was it?
And
what all was in it?
So
was it pretty standard?
It's a coconut rum drink with either an umbrella or a cherry or some type of fruit on top, and it delivered. It was everything I expected of a pina colada and not more. So
it was just a pina colada.
It was.
Okay.
It was good.
How do you score a pina colada?
I gave it a 7.5. Which
okay.
I think is a really decent score for a pina colada. I think if you're preparing boat drinks, I think you have to be good at them. If you're sitting across the street from the beach.
Yeah.
And it was good.
So I got a raspberry smoothie.
Okay.
And I thought it was also very tasty. It came with like a pineapple slice that was like spiral in terms of how it was like sliced and propped into the glass. So great presentation. Had one of the little umbrellas with a cherry on it. Cherry was delicious. The raspberry smoothie itself, I liked. Mm-hmm. It was good. It was a good time. Nice sugary drink. A nice beverage for the day after a marathon where I'm just trying to get as many like replenishing sugars and salt, like electrolytes and stuff like that. Rehydrating and just trying to get something in my system. So very refreshing raspberry smoothie. I went 7 out of 10 on it.
Okay.
We got 2 starters, one of which my dad kind of made his entree because he wasn't super hungry. He got the teriyaki chicken wing. Wings. They don't serve you just one.
Just one wing.
I had just one. But my dad's assessment was a more severe version of my assessment because he thought that like it was these adjectives to an extreme. He thought it was way too sugary of a sauce. I thought it was sweet. You know, it almost had like a little bit of like a candied, like when you burn sugar a little bit.
Yeah, a little crisp.
A little bit. But the texture of the chicken itself was tough. So
overcooked.
The sauce and the sweetness isn't what bugged me. That said, these weren't good wings because of the quality of chicken. 4 out of 10.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah.
I did not taste those.
You didn't try them. Okay. So the other appetizer we got was the coconut shrimp. I thought the sauce it was tossed in was pretty good.
Actually, that was probably the best bite that I had that day. They had the sauce already on the coconut shrimp.
Didn't we do the luau that night?
Okay.
The best bite at that establishment?
At that meal. Yeah. I'm sorry.
We had much better food later.
That's a whole different.
Yeah.
At that
establishment.
At that establishment.
I would say
that was my favorite bite.
I would say almost everything at the luau was better than everything at Cheeseburger in Paradise.
Yeah.
The luau was good food, but that's not what we're here to review. The coconut shrimp was my highest rating of the things that I ate at Cheeseburger in Paradise. I had one other thing that came close, but it had a wetness to it that wasn't like too soaking or too greasy or anything. It was just like it was a wet sauce basically. It was just a thin sauce.
It was was it like a Thai chili sauce? I want
something like that, yeah.
But delicious, and it was the right amount of sauce,
and it was the right amount of shrimp. They were a good size, nice and hefty. I went 7.5 out of 10 for me. I
went an 8.
You went an 8.
That was my favorite bite for that meal.
For that meal, yeah. I guess before we go into appetizers, I mean, Y'all can probably presume what we got. We're at Cheeseburger in Paradise, so, we got some burgers. But they came with some sides. And you and I had differing opinions on the fries.
We did.
I liked them. I thought that they did have a seasoning that was, it was like the taste, the seasoning that you put on a curly fry normally, but they were straight fries. They had a little bit of that going for them. Good crisp. I like the texture of them. I went 6.5 out of 10 on these fries. I thought they were a little bit above average.
Yeah. Now, I've only been your guest a couple times on this. I've still got Dave's hot chicken fries in my
Dave's
head.
hot chicken is transcendent food. It's very good.
For me, that's kind of my bar. And
but not your bar of mediocrity. It's your high bar.
That is my high bar.
Right.
But of which, for these, they could have used a little more crunch for me.
Yeah.
So I didn't go quite as high as you. I did give it a 5.5, which is decent.
Yeah,
a little better.
Above average, technically.
Above average, but not quite as high as yours.
Then there were onion rings. I thought these were very average. They were kind of like the bread crummy sort of.
It is like a panko. I just felt that there was too much breading to the amount of onions. I like onion rings when you have the big, thick onions in them instead of the thinner ones. These were not the thick ones.
I don't think these were great onion rings by any means, but on principle, that doesn't bug me. Like I'm okay with a thin onion if the breading is extra tasty. If the breading isn't extra tasty, then
or if the ratio is, half onion, half breading kind of thing.
Yeah.
But this one to me had too much breading.
I went right in the middle on these. I went 5 out of 10.
Oh, that's interesting because I ended up with a 5.5.
But you liked them less, you thought? Would you call these below average food?
No. They were very 5.5 is still considered average.
Then, yeah.
Right?
I mean, to me, they were just right in the middle. I could have done without them, but to me, they were very middling.
Yeah.
Like I said, I don't hate the idea of these. Like this type of onion ring can be executed at a very high level.
Mm-hmm.
These just weren't it.
Okay.
I'm going to make us wait for burgers one more step because Joyce ordered the Loco Moco, which is a traditional Hawaiian dish.
Mm-hmm.
It's like egg with ground burger meat over rice with a gravy. And boy, did I not know what else was in there because it just looked like a bowl of gravy.
It looked like a bowl of mush.
It was a bowl of brown.
And she was a trooper.
Her rating, off the record.
She related it to jar gravy.
Oh, no.
And she gave it a 1.5.
She hated this dish.
It was inedible. Bless her heart.
Here's the thing. I tried it. Now, she did kind of scoop the gravy out of the way for me a little bit. So I had a primarily rice and egg bite.
Okay.
I didn't even have much of the burger because, it's not super high quality burger meat. And mine wasn't as slathered as hers was. I thought it was an interesting taste. I went 5 out of 10 on it. I went pretty average. And you didn't taste the Loco Moco, right?
I did not.
Okay. All right. So let's talk about the burgers in paradise.
Okay.
You got the one called the Cheeseburger in Paradise.
I did.
Did it feel like a paradise cheeseburger to you?
I had a burger in paradise, i.e., Hawaii, for sure.
They never said anything about guaranteeing the quality of said burger.
Yeah. It was a good burger.
Yeah.
It wasn't a great burger. It delivered. Mine was overcooked a little bit.
And you tend to like stuff on the
I usually say
end.
Medium plus. I'm afraid of medium well because
you lose flavor.
You can totally burn it.
Yeah.
And it was probably just a hair overcooked. But all the goodies that are on the burger.
You thought salvage did a little bit?
Salvage, I like the combination of all the tastes. I know you.
So what else was in there? Colby Jack, cheese, mayo, lettuce, tomato, and onion.
I like all of the stuff on the burger as much as I actually, delve into the actual
meat.
Burger, the way that you...
Yeah, I tend to be, is your meat good? that's the starting point for me. And then like I usually get way fewer toppings on my burgers.
Yeah.
I'll have a few, but I do want to be tasting the meat in the bun primarily.
But I enjoyed the brioche bun.
Yeah.
It was not dry. And I can understand that if you have a dry burger bun, it would ruin the whole experience.
Unless you have something slathered in gravy like the Loco Moco to give you some moisture to balance it out.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was better than average.
What'd you score it?
I scored it at a 6.2. So it was a decent burger.
6.2. I got the barbecue bacon burger. It was very thick on the sauce, and it was actually plated in a way to where the top bun was off.
Okay.
And so you see a burger, one onion ring in the middle, and just like a pool of barbecue sauce on top of it. And I like me a barbecue burger. I had no problem with the taste of this sauce, so the quantity of it didn't really bug me. The ingredients blended well. I mean, it was basically just lettuce, giant onion ring, barbecue sauce, burger, bun. Pretty simple, just 5 things. And it did work for me.
How was it cooked?
Medium rare is typically how I order. I don't remember, but I think it was within the realm of medium rare. Okay. Usually I order medium rare, and if it comes on the rarer side or the slightly overcooked more towards medium side, I'm happy with anything in that range. So medium rare is usually my safe place.
So you saw a little pink in there?
Saw a little pink. And what's interesting is psychologically, and in hindsight, it's the Jimmy Buffett official locations of Cheeseburger in Paradise, the fast casual chain, that partnered with Outback Steakhouse.
Oh.
So this one, I went in thinking was made with Outback ingredients or whatever. My go-to order at Outback is their burger. Yeah. I love the bloomin' burger. You put bloomin' onion petals and bloom sauce on top of a burger at Outback, and I am a happy little boy.
You're making me hungry.
So I had Outback in my mind, and I feel like, you know how sometimes if you smell something and taste something, the smell impacts like how you taste it?
Yes.
To me, I'm thinking about Outback, and I think that like it made me taste Outback. So I think I got a little psychological boost from this being a thing that I know I already like, even though it wasn't.
That's interesting.
Because I did taste some similarities. It definitely was like, yeah, this definitely isn't exactly the Outback burger, but I liked it. I went 7 out of 10.
Ooh, that's a good burger.
Yeah, I would eat it again. The service experience is really what's dragging down Cheeseburger in Paradise. And then obviously, the wings, not great. Coconut shrimp was good. Drink was good. I'm just going to go a flat no thumbs on the food at Cheeseburger in Paradise. And what you might notice, dear listener or viewer, depending on if you're on YouTube, we're cutting off talking about food here. What about dessert? They don't have dessert.
No dessert.
I think that's crazy.
I don't know if I've ever been to a sit-down restaurant
that didn't have any dessert offerings.
A candy.
I asked the waiter a candy. we've got a half-eaten Twix. I found something out recently. Twix.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what it stands for?
I don't.
Twin sticks.
Oh. Okay.
Because it comes with a left bar and a right bar.
Okay.
And they're identical.
Okay. And
Twin sticks.
Okay.
Yeah.
And that just falls into dessert category?
I mean, if you brought up candy. Anyways, I think it's crazy to not order dessert. They did have, in their breakfast, they have like little mini cinnamon roll bites. And when I asked our waiter about dessert, he said, well, if you came for breakfast, you could have gotten this. And that's the closest thing we have for dessert.
Well, just given that most people have that Jimmy Buffett
correlation,
I was thinking there'd be some type of one of those volcano desserts where it's got the ooey gooey inside and ice cream. That was an assumption that.
Right.
And they could have capitalized on it.
But there wasn't a Jimmy Buffett affiliation.
Right.
I think it'd be very bold to be serving more Jimmy Buffett themed items at this place that's already getting away with murder.
Right.
Yeah. But yeah, overall, 0 thumbs on the food for me.
I think I have to go 1 thumb down on the food.
Yeah.
I like the coconut shrimp.
And that was about it. As far as like what you would go back for, maybe.
Exactly.
Yeah. All right.
Final rating.
We've talked about the atmosphere. We've talked about the service. We've talked about the food. What does it all mean? What does it all mean if we don't put it together into a number to throw up on the tchotchke of mediocrity that I will affix to it when I get back home to California? Because I don't have the tchotchke with me right now. But we got to know.
We got to know.
Where does it fall? Is this the perfect 5.00? Is it less than mediocre? Is it more than mediocre? Mom, I'll let you take the floor.
Well, it fell a little short of mediocre for me. I have it at a 4.85. The service and the food pulled it down, but to me, that atmosphere and
Still held it a little bit.
location, open air is awesome when you have beautiful weather outside.
Right.
And being able to people watch, all of that combined, very unique to have a few folks walk by wearing their floaties heading to the beach.
And they happen to be my cousins.
And we happen to know.
Yeah.
And surfboards walking by. I think the atmosphere
It
for
feels
me
very Hawaiian.
pulled it up.
Yeah. And I would say the same thing. The food wasn't as bad as I think I make it sound, but it still wasn't something where I will never say you've got to go to this place. You don't. You flat out do not need to go to this place. Our service experience, not great. Atmosphere, I mean, you're looking at the ocean. It's beautiful, but literally any other restaurant on that same street is going to have the same situation. So,
yeah,
if you're in the area, this isn't the spot you got to go. I'm going to go a little bit lower than you. I'm going with a 4.53.
Okay.
This place just wasn't cutting it for me. I don't need to go back. I've eaten it. Great. Moving on. So that means that this will go up on the tchotchke of mediocrity at 4.69. 4.69. You know what that means, Mom. This is decisively less than mediocre.
Less than mediocre. Not quite as good as Applebee's.
And because it's less than mediocre, that means we gotta keep looking. We gotta keep the search going to try and find out where is the most mediocre. I gotta try a different spot next week, which means that we need to play a little game, Mom. We gotta play the headline game.
The rules of the headline game are as follows. Michael will present 3 headlines to his co-host that include this week's restaurant. They can be made up, or they can be actual headlines. If the co-host can correctly guess if at least 2 out of 3 are real or fake, they will get to select next week's restaurant. However, if Michael stumps them, he'll select again. Are you ready to play, you two?
I'm ready.
Okay. First headline, and I'm going to preface this with, when I'm looking up headlines, a lot of them came up regarding the Jimmy Buffett official fast casual one that is in the mainland and not just Hawaii.
Okay.
Cheeseburger with pair of dice. Chain restaurant to add games of chance to New Jersey location.
Okay. We lived in New Jersey a little bit, and as I'm thinking about Atlantic City, big gaming center on the East Coast, I'm going to go true.
True. Okay. Cheeseburger in Paradise offering limited weekend all-you-can-eat buffet in honor of upcoming visit from songwriter and licensor.
I absolutely think they would tie that into the promotion of him coming to visit, so I'm going to say true.
True. All right. And lastly, Maui Cheeseburger in Paradise Eatery ordered to close because it doesn't have hot water.
That can happen, I think, at any restaurant at any given time. I'm going to go true.
You're going to go true. All right. Going back through them. Cheeseburger with pair of dice. Chain restaurant to add games of chance to New Jersey location. You said true. I made that one up.
Oh.
I came up with the pair of dice pun.
I like that.
And
it's too bad. Maybe
gotcha, Mom.
Yeah, they could have monopolized on that one, Michael.
I mean, it still can. Cheeseburger in Paradise offering limited weekend all-you-can-eat buffet in honor of upcoming visit from songwriter and licenser. You fell for that one, too. Oh. That was an even worse pun from me.
But I think you told me that your mom is so gullible, and here we're proving it for all to hear.
And lastly, Maui Cheeseburger in Paradise Eatery ordered to close because it doesn't have hot water. You said true. That one is true. That is a thing that happens, but kind of gross. The dishwashers did not have hot water, and there was no alternative for washing and degreasing kitchenware.
Ooh.
The inspection was conducted after a complaint, meaning that they went forth and were still serving customers.
Yeah, their plate slid off the table.
Dishes. Oh, so gross. So you got 1 out of 3 correct, which means I win the headline game. I get to choose where I'm going next time for episode 50.
Wow. That's
episode
a big one.
50 of the show. And whoa. Okay, hold on there, dear YouTube viewer. The video just cut out. It's intentional because I recorded this and then I decided I'm not going to do the thing that I did pick, and I'm not going to tell you what that place was.
That doesn't sound fair.
No, but hold, it's because I'm in Texas. I'm here visiting you. I've got episode 50 next time, and I have a policy that I've abided by and broken the rule one time in the first 50 episodes, and that was it has to be a full-service sit-down restaurant.
Right.
There was a beef to settle that caused me to go to Cinnabon, but other than that, I haven't done fast food for the proper show. On Patreon, sure, plenty of fast food because I want to do different types of picks for that. But I want to open the floodgates, and I want to announce that from 50 episodes moving forward, in perpetuity, fast food is on the table, fast casual is on the table, anything that is a national chain eatery.
Okay.
And, national, if it's all over even a state, I'll take that. I want to do something that is a staple of Texas fast food.
Okay.
So for episode 50, Whataburger.
Whataburger. Wow. That's a great one.
Well, thanks so much. We didn't find the most mediocre restaurant in America. The search does, in fact, continue. Follow me on social media, Instagram, TikTok, at Fine Dining Podcast. We're now on YouTube. You can watch these episodes. I'm posting YouTube shorts. There is a Patreon, patreon.com/Fine Dining Podcast. You get an exclusive episode every single month. Another new spot that I haven't done before that you can only hear there. Extended Yelp from Strangers segments. You can download the songs from the musical, the Olive Garden episode.
Love it.
But yeah, we didn't find the most mediocre restaurant. Search continues.
Have a fine day.
The search continues. We still need the perfect five. The search continues. Like and subscribe. The search continues. Our journey did not conclude. The mother effing search continues. Write us an iTunes review. And hey, while you're at it, why don't you go ahead and make it 5 stars, huh? Come on. Follow us on TikTok. The same on Instagram. All the socials at Fine Dining Podcast. We have a website, finediningpodcast.com. Buy our t-shirts, then put them on. And don't forget, you can always suggest where we go next. Okay, we're going to find it. Mediocrity. The search continues. See you next week. hurt my throat a little.
Have a fine day.